Well, hello there, my dear watch friends. Today I want to show you how to professionally change the bracelet on your Rolex watch or on any other watch for that matter. Now, bad news first, you're going to have to invest in tools. Well, at least in one tool. And this is going to be a spring bar tool. Now, when you search the internet for spring bar tools, you're probably going to encounter three different types. First one is going to be this, the one that is shaped like a squeezer and works like a squeezer. Then you're going to find the single-sided spring bar tools, the ones that look like a little stick. And the third option you're going to find is this tweezer-looking type that allows you to interchange the header pieces here. Now, forget about this one. I already wasted my money on it, so you don't have to. It doesn't do a fine job. It's just money down the drain. Forget it. What you preferably want to buy is the tweezer-looking spring bar tool, because this allows you to access the spring bar that is basically holding your bracelet in place from both sides, squeeze it together and pull it out with a minimum of scratches, hopefully. Actually, you can see a little depiction of it here. See the spring bar tools come in from both sides and makes it relatively easy to remove the bracelet. Now, there are different priced options on the market. You're going to find some that are rather affordable, but usually the problem with those is that these header pieces here, they are not hardened. It's not hardened metal. And you can see it's very delicate, so you need this to be a hardened steel. Otherwise, it'll dull out very, very fast and you won't be able to use it anymore. And the cheap versions usually don't come with hardened header pieces. So what I suggest is to go with this one, the Bergeon 7825. Bergeon 7825. Now, this baby is going to set you back more than $100. I think it's about between $120 and $140. Now I get it, crazy expensive for a tool this size. But if you invest the money in a Bergeon tool, you can be sure that this is the only spring bar tool you will ever have to buy in your life. Plus, look at it this way. What is it worth to you to prevent scratches on your watch? Is it worth more than $100? If the answer is yes, then that's money well spent on this tool. But anyway, let's go right into it. Let me zoom in for you a little bit. All right, now we're going to remove the bracelet from this Rolex Submariner. That's an older model, the 16610. Now, you could actually, as a first step, go right in here and remove the first spring bar. You see the shape of this tweezer tool allows you to do that. You can go over the bracelet and access the spring bar relatively easy, and you can remove it this way. However, this works fine when removing the spring bar, or removing the bracelet rather, but when it's time to put it back on, it's very, very hard. If you have to go around the part of the bracelet to put it back in place, this is very, very hard. So when you're reattaching the bracelet, you're going to have to open it up. And if you're going to have to do this anyway, you might as well just do it as your first step, and then everything after this is going to be much easier. So what we're going to do first here is open up the bracelet so we can fold it away on each side. Now, to do that, you're going to locate the big part of the clasp, and you'll see here the bracelet is inside the clasp, and it's basically secured by a little pin here. So you're going to take a small and pointy tool. I use a mini screwdriver for this, but even a toothpick will do the job fine. So the only tool you're going to have to buy is the spring bar tweezer. If you don't have a mini screwdriver, just take a toothpick or anything that is small and pointy. So this is pretty simple. You're just going to apply, well, basically you're going to hold it like this. You're gonna use your free thumb and slide it here in between the clasp and the bracelet. Then you're gonna take your small pointy thing. You're gonna compress the little spring bar that is in here a little bit. Then with your thumb, you're gonna slide the bracelet out. Now you can see it is dislocated here on the upper side. You just wiggle it a bit and it comes all the way out. Remove the spring bar, put it on the side, and now we can open up the bracelet and have easy access to the two spring bars that are holding our bracelet in place here. Now, removing the actual bracelet, you're gonna take your spring bar tool. So you're gonna put it in place here. You make sure you have it secured on the top side. Then you're gonna make sure you have it secured on the bottom side. Secure the watch. Now you're gonna compress the spring bar, pull it out slowly, and release it slowly. Otherwise, your spring bar is going to turn into a ballistic missile. All right, one side gone. You can take out the spring bar here, put it to the side, turn the watch around. You always want the bracelet side, the bracelet part that you're going to remove on the side of your tweezer and the free hand on the watch. Same thing here. Put it in place securely on the top. Put it in place securely on the back, on the bottom I should say. Compress the spring bar. Slowly pull it out. Pull the watch away. Release the spring bar slowly. And there you go. There's your watch without the bracelet. Going to take that spring bar out. Put it on the side. All right. Now you're ready to attach your new bracelet. Now, if you want to put your watch on a NATO strap, you can go right ahead, take your spring bar and put it back in place without the bracelet. Now, this is something I usually do just with my fingers. But before we do that, I forgot to mention, if you are really worried about scratches, then you can apply some duct tape here on that part before you start the whole process. So, when you do something weird with a spring bar tweezer and you're going to scratch that part, it's going to be on the duct tape and not on your watch. I personally don't do that because first, I change my bracelets frequently. I usually don't have the time to get some duct tape and put it on the watch. And secondly, if I scratch that part of the watch here, honestly, I don't really care because when you're wearing it, you're not going to see it. And if you ever sell the watch, you can be sure that scratches on that part here that are not visible when wearing the watch will not reduce the value of your watch. If anything, it'll increase the value of your watch because it's going to show the buyer that it is unpolished. And most watch collectors are looking for unpolished watches. So even if you scratch your watch here a little, don't worry about it. Also, don't go ahead now and scratch your watches thinking you can sell them for more afterwards. All I want to say is a scratch down here will not reduce the value of your watch. Alright, as I said, I usually just use my hands to put the spring bar back in place. Here I secure the bottom. Then I use my fingernails to compress the spring and slide it in. Now, if you have thicker fingers than me, you can go ahead and use a tool, but usually the fingers will do the job just fine. Now you do this on both sides. Then you take your NATO strap and can slide it right in. And you got your watch on a NATO strap. Now, if you want to learn all the different ways how to put the watch on a NATO strap on your wrist, there are 3 different versions in my opinion. You can check them out in my video that I'm linking up here right now. Or if you want to watch it later, there's a link down there in the description. But anyway, let's get back to it. So if instead of a NATO, you want to put your watch on a regular strap, then you're going to have to take the spring bar, of course, slide it in the strap. Then you use your tweezers to compress it on both sides and just slide it in and release, and that's it. Now, one thing to consider is that the spring bars that come on Rolex watches are rather thick. So on some bracelets, if not most bracelets, you're gonna have trouble sticking them in that hole here. They're not gonna fit very well. So my suggestion is, when you buy a new pair of straps, always buy a spare pair of spring bars as well. Now, lastly, I want to show you how to put your original bracelet back on the watch. Well, once you removed it, you know how to put it back on, but there are still 2 or 3 good tips I can give you here to make it more efficient. So firstly, we are going to remove that spring bar here again. All right, there we go. Now we're going to take your bracelet. Now, the rule is here that the side with the buckle always goes at 6 o'clock, meaning the buckle side of the bracelet goes down here and not up here. Now, let's be honest, probably you're going to forget about this rule. Happens to me too all the time. So what I do before putting it on is this. I take the bracelet with the buckle, I'll close it. I put it on my wrist to see if it looks right. If it doesn't, then I know I have it on the wrong side. So I'm turning it. I see, oh yeah, that's usually how I wear my buckle. And now I see, oh yeah, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock has to be down here. So I know where it goes. Anyway, let's do this. So you want to take your spring bar, slide it back in place here in the hole. Now again, same as when removing the bracelet, your tweezer hand is on the bracelet side and your free hand is securing the watch. So now secure the watch here while using your index finger to put a little bit of pressure on the bracelet and hold it in place. Now you're going to secure the spring bar tool here, compress it. Oh shit. See, that's what I meant when I said make sure your spring bar doesn't turn into a ballistic missile. Let me just look for that real quick. Oh, got it, I got it. All right, another good argument for buying a spare pair of spring bars. Okay, let's try that again. I'm going to secure watch and bracelet. Now I'm slowly compressing the spring bar. Bring watch and bracelet together. Release slowly. Now the spring bar is probably not perfectly in place yet, so you're going to have to wiggle it a little bit until you hear it snap in place. And now it's secure. Now to do the other side, you're going to turn it. So your tweezer hand is on the side of the bracelet you want to attach, and the free hand is securing the watch again. Secure the watch and the bracelet. Put your tweezer in place. Compress. Bring bracelet and watch together. Slowly release. Wiggle it in place. Now it's secured on both sides. Now last thing we have to do is close the bracelet. You want to open the clasp. Take the third spring bar tool, put it back in that hole. Now hopefully you remember which position your bracelet was in. Luckily I remember here was the second position for me. So I'm gonna first bottom part of the spring bar tool here in the bottom hole. Just gonna have to wiggle it around a little, apply some pressure until you feel that that pin is in on the bottom hole. All right, it's secure, it's not moving anymore. Now I'm gonna use my small pointy thing again. I'll push the springboard down, use my thumb to apply some pressure on the bracelet, and it will snap right in place. And there you go. Rolex back on the bracelet. That's the process. I hope you found this video helpful. If yes, consider subscribing to the channel and have a good day.